welcome back. If you're wondering where I've been and where I am now, summer has been... The move has really done me in. This move, I don't know, this move was much more difficult for me getting back into the swing of life than our last move. So that answers where I've been and where I am now. I'm in my new schoolroom. I've shown this a couple times, but I don't think I've taped in here yet. So I don't know if I'm going to continue taping in here or where, but for now, this is where it is. Now to the video. New school year is coming quickly for some of us. We are starting in a couple weeks. I know a lot of people don't start till after Labor Day. A lot of schools don't. Schools here, I think, go back the end of August, I think. So I thought I would share a few things that I do to get ready besides the actual school prep. Number one, I start tightening up our routines quite a bit. I shared in another video, I think it was how I schedule our summers, that our summer days kind of reflect our school year days as far as blocks of time, but with a lot more leniency and a lot more 5 more minutes. So now by the end of July, beginning of August, I start tightening those things up drastically, not only for the kids but also for me. Morning expectations get a little tighter, less screen time, more consistent bedtimes, including for myself. All those things I start tightening up because for me it's much easier to transition into a school year if I've already been slowly moving that way. Number 2, I like to finish up any professional development things that I still have left to do. I like to read at least one history and one science book each summer that will prepare me for the school year. I also sometimes take different online open course softwares like Coursera or one of the other sites. I'll list a couple of them below. And I like to have those things finished by the end of July or so that I have time to continue processing them before our school year begins. Number 3, and this was a big one, is I start freezing meals. We have an extra deep freeze as well as an extra refrigerator, so I have lots of room to do this. But even if you don't, if you can just start putting a few things in, it will make those busy back to school days go much more smoothly for you. When I'm going to do a video more about this, but I do things, go ahead and each week I try to make one meal that I can double so I can put one of it back in the freezer and then cook the other one. I also like to make up things like frozen pizzas for us. I'll do maybe 10 batches or so of taco type meat so that I can make them into enchiladas or burritos or taco salads or whatever I want to do. Raw chicken in marinades. Very simple things. I don't like to do complete meals. That is number 3. To go along with that, number 4, I like to stock up on non-perishables and toiletries. Non-perishable things like crackers and extra peanut butter and extra cereal. Those kind of things that if for some reason I don't get to the grocery store over the weekend, I know I have a couple days wiggle room because of those extra stock up. I also, for the toiletry area, more than once, like on a Wednesday or something, I will find out that we are out of someone's toothpaste or out of toilet paper, and then I have to schedule a trip to the store, which is not difficult unless my schedule is packed. And if you're running, whether you homeschool or have kids out of school, if you're running between activities and school and dinner and bedtime and homework, finding 20 minutes to get to the store, or in our case we're a little further away than that, it can be difficult. So having an extra stock of those things so that you know that you don't have to make an emergency trip to the store for toilet paper. Number 5, fall sports. If your kids are involved in sports, late summer is a great time to take stock of what you have, what will fit, what from last year will fit, and what you are going to need to go ahead and buy. That way, if it's hard to find, if you need to order online, you don't have to fight the crowds who are also doing it last minute. And if you have difficult sizes or whatever, you don't have to deal with it all under stress because you have it taken care of. Whatever it is, about a month away, I like to take stock and get those things purchased. And the last thing, this is something I touched on in my day in the life, and I know I had someone comment about how much I use my hands. I know I do it. I try really hard to keep my hands down, so I apologize if it bothers you. Number 6, projects around the house. I talked about this in my last day in the life. Mid-summer or so, sometimes earlier if I'm on the ball. This year I wasn't with the move, but I like to make a list of some projects that I want to tackle before the school year starts. Very rarely are they major projects, but usually they're just tightening up the organization of different areas in my house. So this time, projects included things like the linen closet was not put away well when we moved. So I spent 10 minutes and I went through and just folded towels, grouped them by type and where they belong, moved the medicines all around together. Another project was straightening up my Rubbermaid cabinet. When we moved, I wasn't here when our goods got delivered and they were just kind of shoved in to the cabinet. But that meant every time I needed something, I had to go looking for it, or things fell out or whatever. I also went through my boys' clothes and went ahead and pulled out anything that was getting too small. That way it's easier for them to put away laundry, and they're not going to come down in things that are too small or whatever. Those kind of projects. I don't think anything on my list that I've done nothing on my list so far has taken more than 15 or 20 minutes. I have a couple longer projects that'll take maybe 30 to 45 minutes, so nothing, they're not big projects, but just fine-tuning areas. So those are 6 things I like to do towards the end of summer in preparation for our school year. If you have anything that you like to do, I'd love to hear it below. I'm always looking for new ideas on ways to make things go much more smoothly in my home, so I'd love to hear what you have to share. I'm going to have a few more videos in my back to school prep series, including my freezer meals video that I mentioned, so be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss them. Some of them will be geared to everybody, a couple of them will be more towards homeschoolers, so something for everyone. And yeah, thanks for watching.